Welcome! We are officially entering the season of flowers. With spring comes Nowruz, the Persian New Year celebration. Today we are making shirini, which means sweets. The kind of sweet is called pafaki, which can be translated to walnut puffs. Now, if you're allergic to walnuts, you can replace them with other nuts, or you can simply substitute coconut shavings or powder. This recipe also has eggs, wheat, and pistachios. So, if you're allergic to these ingredients, this recipe won't be a good idea to try.
Let's first start with the ingredients. We need 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice or lime juice. We need 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom powder. You can add more if you like the taste and the aroma of it. We need 3 egg yolks. We need 75 grams of powdered sugar. It roughly translates into 7.5 tablespoons of powdered sugar. We need around 100 grams of crushed walnuts. And in case your mixture becomes a little bit runny, have 2 tablespoons of flour at hand so you can add it and make it stiffen up a little bit. Preheat the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius. Okay, our first step is to separate the egg whites and the egg yolks. For doing that, your job is very easy if you have an egg separator, but if you don't, you can always use the eggshells to separate the egg whites from the yolk. Just make sure you're not breaking all the way through the shells. You do not want eggshells in your shirini. Now, I myself prefer to have some vanilla extract in it. Do you want me to do it again? Let's do it again. Now, we only need a little bit of it, like half a spoon. So now we're going to mix the egg yolks with the vanilla extract. Just make sure that you're putting it on the number 1 or 2 of the speed of the mixer. We don't want to mix it too fast. If you're doing it with a hand mixer, you will need to mix for 15 minutes. It will take 3 times as much if you're doing it by hand. Okay? Now we're going to add the powdered sugar. First, mix with your mixer. You don't want a puff of powdered sugar in your face. And when it comes to something like this, now you can start your mixer again. As you can see, it has turned into a cream color. Now, if you don't like your cookies or sweets to be too sweet, you can add 1/4 of lemon juice or lime juice. This makes it a little less sweet. And half a teaspoon or 1/4 of a teaspoon of cardamom powder. And then mix again for a minute or 2. Now we want to add our walnuts. Make sure they are not powdered because that makes it a little bit tricky. And then use a whisk to gently fold it onto itself. So, depending on the size of the eggs and how crushed your walnut is, it might become a little bit runny. Make sure to test it. Put a little bit in a plate and see if it holds its shape. Mine holds its shape perfectly well. It still goes sideways a little bit. To prevent that, we want to add a little bit of flour. Start by very small amounts. Add it gently and whisk. Now that I have reached the consistency that I want, grab a little bit of it with a spoon, use your spatula, and gently put it on top of itself. Now that our tray is ready, we just have to put it in the oven. Put them in the oven for 15 minutes to 20 minutes, but not more than 20 minutes.